Gamera burst into American screens in 1966, a fire-breathing turtle no one could forget. Behind the rubber suit was pure chaos. Today, we're counting down 10 wild facts about the monster that shouldn't exist, but became a legend.
I was actually coming to see you.
Is that so? Has Kenny done anything wrong?
Number 10. The Plaster Nightmare. Ever wonder why Gamera moved like he was trudging through wet cement? Here's why. That suit wasn't just rubber. The monster costume was built from plaster reinforced with latex, tipping the scales at over 60 kilograms. That's 132 pounds of pure, sweaty torture. Professional stunt performers took one look and said, no thanks. So Dai Studios had to recruit the toughest guys from the prop department instead. These weren't trained suit actors. They were stagehands who could handle punishment. Imagine crawling on all fours in a sauna made of concrete while a film crew yells at you to look more menacing. Gamera's lumbering gait wasn't acting, it was survival. And somehow, that awkward waddle made him even more terrifying to a generation of kids watching through their fingers.
They'll all be killed. Why should we bother about giant turtles?
Yes, maybe you're right.
Number 9. The Flying Disaster. Those iconic spinning flight scenes almost never happened. The special effects team built a mechanical Gamera prop designed to rotate while spewing fire and smoke, basically a flying flamethrower. Sounds cool, right? Except the fire effect worked too well. During filming, the flames burned straight through the suspension wires holding the prop aloft, sending the expensive model crashing to the studio floor in a spectacular fireball. The crew had an earful from the producers. But hey, when your monster's signature move is self-immolation, maybe a few burnt wires are just part of the process. At least it looked incredible on screen, which is more than you can say for most low-budget effects that didn't literally catch fire.
Gamera then destroyed the research ship we were using, killing every one of the crew.
Number 8. The Energy Buffet. Here's where Gamera gets genuinely weird. He doesn't eat people, buildings, or fish. He eats fire. In the film, Gamera attacks a geothermal power plant, but not to destroy it, to feed on the flames and electricity like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. The movie establishes that Gamera has some kind of internal furnace, turning him into a walking, flying nuclear reactor. This wasn't just a cool visual, it gave the monster an actual motivation beyond smash Tokyo because reasons. Gamera needed fuel, and humanity's obsession with energy made us the perfect snack bar. It's like if your car suddenly grew legs and started hunting down gas stations. The scene where he devours the flames around the plant is genuinely eerie. He's not angry, he's just hungry. That made him feel less like a villain and more like a force of nature with a very specific diet plan.
It was a lottery with human lives.
Number 7. The Boy and His Pet. The emotional core of Gamera is Toshio, a turtle-obsessed kid forced to release his tiny pet Chibi into the ocean. When a 60-meter monster starts trashing Japan, Toshio becomes convinced that Gamera is just Chibi, all grown up and misunderstood. It's completely illogical, utterly heartbreaking, and somehow the audience buys it. This is peak kids see what adults can't storytelling, and it anchors the entire film. While everyone else wants Gamera dead, Toshio's unwavering belief that his friend is just scared and confused gives the monster unexpected pathos. The military sees a weapon, Toshio sees a lost pet. Between destruction and innocence is what made Gamera more than just another city-stomping creature. And that tension, just remember, never underestimate the emotional attachment a kid can form with a reptile. It's also why the ending hits so hard, but we'll get to that in a minute. For now,
We may have hit upon something very important.
Could it be a creature that's not known?
Number 6. The serious actor in the silly movie. Dr. Hidaka, the film's scientific hero, is played by Eiji Funakoshi, and that's a huge deal. Funakoshi was a prestigious, award-winning dramatic actor known for intense, gritty war films like Fires on the Plain. This guy had won the Kinema Junpo Award for Best Actor, and then he showed up in a rubber suit monster movie aimed at kids. It's like casting Daniel Day-Lewis in a Power Rangers episode. Funakoshi treated the role with complete seriousness, bringing gravitas and emotional weight to scenes where he's trying to outsmart a giant turtle. His performance elevated the entire production, making the absurd premise feel genuinely important. You believed he cared about stopping Gamera, which made you care too. It's a reminder that even silly movies deserve committed performances, and sometimes the best actors are the ones willing to play it straight, no matter how ridiculous the script gets.
Yeah, I think you're right. Did you see the force of that explosion as it hit the ground?
Number 5. The Rat Plague Origin Story. Here's the wildest production secret. Gamera only exists because of cannibalistic rats. No, really. Daiei Studios originally planned a movie called Giant Horde Beast Nezura, featuring swarms of live rats crawling over miniature cities. The production got underway, rats were brought in, and then everything went horribly wrong. The rats became infested with fleas, started eating each other, and the whole nightmare was shut down by the health department. Suddenly, Daiei needed a backup monster movie, fast. Enter Gamera, the giant turtle concept that had been sitting in development limbo. So if those rats had just behaved themselves, we might never have gotten the fire-breathing, jet-propelled turtle that defined a generation. Sometimes the best pop culture icons are born from absolute chaos. And honestly, that feels very on-brand for a franchise about a prehistoric turtle that flies by spinning like a UFO.
What are you doing with that? Who's all this food for?
Number 4. The Romance That Vanished. In the original Japanese cut, photographer's assistant Kyoko had a subtle romantic subplot with the character Aoyagi. Nothing major, just enough to add human dimension. Then the US distributors got their hands on the film and decided, nah. When Gamera the Invincible hit American screens, those scenes were completely eliminated to tighten the pacing. Suddenly, Kyoko was strictly professional, all business, no romance. American audiences never even knew what they were missing. It's a fascinating glimpse into how international releases were edited differently, often cutting character moments for more monster action. Sure, we got more Gamera screen time, but we lost the smaller human connections that made the cast feel real. The Japanese version treats its characters like people. The US version treats them like exposition delivery systems. Both work, but they're fundamentally different experiences. And most American kids growing up with late-night TV Gamera had no idea another version existed.
We three were not on board then. And so, my daughter and I were spared, and also a young reporter.
Number 3. The camera problem. When Gamera was prepped for US release, the distributors faced a crisis. Americans might pronounce Gamera as camera. Seriously, that was the concern. So they made an executive decision and added an extra M, rebranding the monster as Gamera for American audiences. It's the kind of hilariously unnecessary change that defined mid-60s localization. Did it work? Who knows? But for years, American kids grew up calling him Gamera, while Japanese audiences stuck with the original. It also created a weird split in merchandising, VHS releases, and pop culture references. Some boxes said Gamera, some said Gamera, and nobody could keep it straight. Eventually, the extra M was quietly dropped, and the original spelling became standard. But if you remember calling him Gamera the Invincible on the playground, you're not misremembering. You just watched the paranoid American edit. And honestly, Gamera does look more imposing on a poster. Maybe they were onto something.
Weapons are totally useless against it.
Yes, that's it.
Number 2. The Cold War Villain. Here's what people forget. Gamera starts with human violence, not monster mayhem. The opening scene shows an American fighter jet shooting down an unidentified aircraft in the Arctic, heavily implied to be Soviet. That plane is carrying an atomic bomb, which detonates when it crashes, and that's what wakes Gamera from his prehistoric slumber. The real villain isn't the turtle. It's Cold War paranoia and nuclear brinkmanship. Gamera is just a consequence. This Cold War framing was everywhere in the 1960 films, kaiju films, but Gamera makes it explicit. Humanity's aggression literally creates the monster. It's a surprisingly dark opening for a movie that's eventually about a kid waving goodbye to his giant turtle friend. And it sets the tone perfectly. This isn't just monster spectacle, it's a warning wrapped in rubber and miniatures. The atomic age didn't just give us bombs, it gave us nightmares that crawled out of the ice. Gamera is one of those nightmares, and we brought him on ourselves.
Gamera was hit by radiation. Maybe he's dead by now.
Number 1. The Plan Z Trap and Mars Ending. Most monster movies end with a big explosion and a corpse. Not Gamera. The military's final solution is Plan Z, an elaborate trap involving a massive trail of burning oil leading to Oshima Island, where a giant rocket is disguised as a volcano. Gamera, lured by the flames he can't resist, climbs inside the nose cone, and boom! He's launched into space on a one-way trip to Mars. No death, no destruction, just exile. And the kicker? Toshio, the kid who believed in him all along, waves goodbye and promises Dr. Hidaka that he'll become a scientist so he can visit Gamera on Mars one day. It's melancholy, hopeful, and utterly bonkers. The movie refuses to treat Gamera as a villain that must be destroyed. Instead, he's a misunderstood creature who just needs to be somewhere else. That ending stuck with audiences because it felt earned. Toshio's faith in his friend was rewarded, even if it meant saying goodbye. And that promise to visit Mars? Pure childhood optimism captured on
Ladies and gentlemen, it's believed that there used to be a very great...
From cannibal rats to Mars Exile, Gamera, the giant monster, was a production held together by duct tape, determination, and one very unfortunate prop department. But out of that chaos came a franchise that lasted decades, and a turtle that somehow stole our hearts despite eating fire and destroying cities. Whether you knew him as Gamera or Gamera, whether you watched him spin through the sky on Saturday afternoons or caught him at a drive-in, he was part of the monster revolution that defined a generation. Until next time, keep watching the skies and maybe check on your pet turtle just in case. See you next time, monster fans.